Manny, very early, first day, but Derek looked crisp. He looked well on that knee. What did it look like from your point of view?
It looked like nothing had happened. I mean, just you see the guy spin some of the throws in there, and what I actually really liked was, and I felt he was intentional a couple times. He took off and he ran, and we're going to be a quick whistle, especially today we're playing tag, but you could see he wanted to go and know he could go and back up what he had done with our training staff and our PT staff and our strength staff in the summer. So you have to ask him, but it looked good to me.
On the other side of the coin, a lot of overhaul, a lot of changes on that defensive coaching staff. How did the players, and especially on the first day, implement the new coaching staff and the defensive schemes you have going?
Well, we went through spring ball with this staff as well, and we've been able to have meetings in the summertime. So I think the relationships are sound now with the new staff and the defensive players. Look, no matter whether there's a new staff or not, you spend training camp these 2 weeks of really trying to forge the identity of a defense. And today, day one in helmets is a step. But I told them afterwards, the adversity is coming, and that's how we'll find out really who we are.
Manny, football, Kobe Bryant from the Sunset, replacing David Thrones on the beat.
Welcome.
Good to meet you. I wanted to ask about Cameron Williams and Jeremiah Payton, those that went on the roster to start practice. Any reason why?
Yeah. So Cameron Williams and Jalar Holley, they just didn't meet our, basically our standards academically to be here. Jeremiah right now is in a different boat than those two guys. Jeremiah is just not in a place right now where playing football is what he wants to do, and we're kind of supporting him through that. Don't know what that means for him in his future, but right now he's just where he's at. He's just not, football is not something that he can devote himself to. So we're going to give him space to kind of be in that
Manny,
area.
John Campbell and Sam Brooks, what's their status?
Yeah, John unfortunately had a pretty serious knee injury this summer, so we doubt we'd have him available in the summer. Sam Brooks, to me, they said, as the week goes on, should do more and more progressed individual and should be out here sometime during training camp.
Manny, you talked about the air. When he takes off at this point, first day of camp, the way he was doing today, obviously he's building confidence and everything. Do you kind of take a deep breath and get nervous at all or anything?
Well, those are two different things, right? Taking a deep breath and getting nervous, that's not the same reaction.
Hold your breath, rather.
I'll be honest. Look, you know what was going to happen. So I'm standing there watching, and again, you'll have to ask him. But I felt like there were a couple times where he wanted to go, and I didn't know what he was going to do today. But it looked like he felt good about it, and he went down the field, and I think that'll be something that as the weeks go on, it'll just help him with his confidence, which definitely helps us with all of our confidence.
So these are older, more experienced teams. Did it feel like a different day one compared to other day one, like in terms of Chris?
That's possible. Yeah, I would say so. I mean, I think just getting that back to the tempo in the heat, I think that's always an adjustment there. But where you probably see the difference is the depth between the first two groups in the execution level, a couple groups in. I don't know if you noticed, but basically we probably had 44 guys run with the starting lineup today. Ones, twos, basically both going the same direction. So the fact that we could do that, you don't see great drop-offs or somebody in there that makes a play non-functional is probably a testament to the age and our depth.
We saw Ja'Kai Corner.
Yeah, but same thing, but limited. You know what I mean? So he's going through the, doing some individual drills, and then everything will work on from that.
Maybe you answered the question without being asked. King is going to be the starting quarterback, or are you going to say that, or?
Yeah, that's our starting quarterback. Yeah, that's the only starter we have. Yeah.
But I mean, with all the health questions, he's passed on as far as.
Oh yeah, I mean it's August 6th, and he was without restriction today, and it's not my choice. He's not going to let me not start the quarterback. I mean, he's going to run through the first play. It doesn't matter who else we put out there quarterback. We're going to have to call a timeout. We're going to 12 on the field because he'll be out there.
Hey Manny, the choice to go night, I guess, for the first 2 weeks. Old school came to say, they had us out there sweating early in the sun. Now, what do you say to those bunch of games? You want your guys rolling through the summer days?
Well, they all could have come out at when we started practice and been out there for that time. They can also step into our tempo offense and try that on for size. We are out in the sun every day. In 2 weeks we start school, and we practice at the hottest time in Miami. all day long. Now I know this, we start in the air conditioning at 3:30 in Atlanta, right? And then we play here at night. We will get all the heat acclimatization. And we're out there running 110s and doing boxes and sand pit all summer. We eat the heat around here, I promise you. So if anybody wants it, they can come and ask any of our guys to go out there, and our guys will gladly run them anywhere they want to run them.
The freshmen, did any of them impress you with keeping their head above water today?
I mean, it's so early. I mean, it was hard to pick out, in the line again in helmets. It's kind of hard to pick out. It looked like Princeton had a couple good catches. Some guys that were here in the spring, Kitchens had an interception at the end. Good to see James Williams running around back there in the secondary, but it was going a little fast for all those guys today. But it was good. We kept them all. Our freshmen were playing ball in the threes for the first 3 days. We can control some of the calls, kind of control some of the tempo with those guys, and let them at least get their sea legs.
As a class, how do you feel like they've
I think this is a phenomenal class. I mean, in terms of, the stuff they do on campus, the stuff they've done in the weight room, the stuff they've done in academic center, they have, I thought our last class was pretty good. You just ask people around the building, training room, academic advisors, this 21 class, they're different, they're special.
Manny, this is a little off topic and not so much on the U, but focusing on former Florida State head coach Bobby Bowden, your relationship with him, the news of his terminal medical condition. Just speak a little bit about what he meant to you, to the game of college football, and just to football in general.
Well, I was so fortunate that my introduction into this profession was sitting in a staff meeting with Bobby Bowden every day. And at this point, he'd already won a national championship. We won another one while we were there. And the person you saw on TV and his in my mind, selflessness, humility, servant leadership, that was the exact same guy he was inside the building. And the way he led that program with a lack of ego, at that time, when you're a young coach, that's your North Star. That's what you want to be. So to me, the fact that he won as many games as he won, and yet also was who he was as a man, shows that you can do both. You can win a ton of games and be a great person like Coach Bowden is.
Thank you.
You guys haven't had many situations to begin with Monty building conversation, but this is the lesson learned for the kids and just sort of say about we haven't had a chance to.
Yeah, I mean, we talked to our guys about that. It can be just one poor decision, one poor choice. Unfortunately, it has consequences. So, I hate to just trivialize it as just a learning incident, but certainly I think we spoke to our team about it and what it means, and hopefully we all can learn from it going forward.
Let's do two more, guys.
Manny, what kind of feeling are you getting from the defensive kids having you back in charge? Are you getting the results that you were looking for by doing that?
I don't know if it has anything to do with me being in charge per se. I just think we have a hungry room of players on defense. You know what I mean? They have pride. They know that there's a standard of how we play here in Miami, and they get it, but they also know that what happened a year ago doesn't carry into this following season with us. And this is a very similar movie to what we saw from 15 to 16, where there was just this stigma that was following the kids around, and we had to find a way that mentally we can let that thing go in the past and choose to write our own story for this version of the defense. So I think that experience, and of course it's great to have Zach McLeod, who was a member of the 16 defense and the 21 defense around, but I think that's really what they feel. Whether I'm calling defense is not really the most important thing in that equation.
Manny, what's happening from a vaccination percentage standpoint, and how much has that process been decided after what happened last year?
Yeah, so we are, and I mentioned this in Charlotte, if, we're waiting on 2 weeks from the second shot where you get fully vaccinated to be at 85%. But we will be at 85% when that happens. Okay, so that's happening in the next week or so. Okay, so that was the benchmark we wanted to hit. Maybe some others will sign up. I think today we set the record for highest number of cases in the state of Florida since the whole thing started. So it's real. It's here. And these guys, we got to go back to the same mode as a year ago. We got to protect the team and protect the program because it is. Here we are 12 months later, and we're still doing the same stuff.
Do you worry about the 15% derailing things at all?
Of course, but again, we give them the freedom of choice, but as one thing we've learned in the pandemic, freedom of choice is not the same as freedom of consequence. And we will adjust the same way we've adjusted last year.
How is he doing?
He was good. I saw him in some drills early on, an individual, which is good for him. Our PTs are kind of progressing him through some different side-to-side movements. But to me, I think it's a big part of our plans going forward.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you all. Great to see everybody again.